And we are recording! Welcome back to 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim spoiler playthrough. I am here with my best friend Mirth Mauser.
Very excited to keep on going.
We just got Discord kinda ate that. Start that again, sorry.
Oh no, Discord hates me again. I was saying hello, very excited to keep going through. We just had an excellent prologue with Natsuno here, and we're gonna see what's next. If memory serves correctly, we're going to see Miura and Natsuno in battle mode here.
I believe so. And considering my name is Hamburger Chariot, I am excited. Because I love me some Miura content. I love how because of the recording and commentary time, we're already nearly 5 hours in, and we haven't even finished the prologue.
That's how long it took me to finish the prologue the first time I played it. 5 hours!
The whole game length, if you're going at a reasonable pace, and like even going slowly, the whole game is like 40 hours long, and we've already done 5 of them, and we're halfway through the prologue.
Only 40? I think I was pushing 80 by the time I was finished with it. Granted, when I was playing it the first time, I was also playing it with a friend, so you know, we would stop for like 20 minutes and discuss what the heck just happened.
So here's another excellent track in the game. This is Lysine. And it's another banger. Very climactic.
I will double check.
How am I doing?
Oh, it's Lysine, I remember
Anything
it.
I'm screwing up here?
Trust me, it's Lysine.
I trust you.
Well, also,
yep,
can I just say, minor plot hole here, why does Miura still have a scar?
Well,
he shouldn't.
Technically, you know, you have Iori's with her barrettes. I mean, I think even Natsuno's wearing her barrettes. And if you want to be real technical, all their hair length matches too. So, just generally, the pods reflect how they are currently in this loop.
I feel like the hair length I have a little bit less of a problem with. But yeah, it's a bit...
It's not just Miura, I think it's just generally that these aren't reflective of their literal pods, even though I think they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
At the same time, it would be far more confusing if they weren't for these battle scenes, so I think it's just that maybe not, it's one of the things you maybe shouldn't think too literal into.
Yeah, I think this is just go with it.
Yeah.
Doing just fine, Natsuno-san. You're a natural.
Oh my god, his voice. His voice!
So
Zap
cute!
Aguilar, you king!
This was his last gift to me. I gotta do this right so I don't let him down.
Whose last gift? Turns out it's BJ's.
Yep.
And it turns out BJ was the previous Miura who also loved Natsuno. Because Miura is the most wholesome boy in this game, and we love him. We stan him in this house. Miura is perfect. He can do no wrong. I will die on this hill.
As you deserve to, because you're right. Everything you say is right. He's such a precious boy.
I get very passionate when it comes to some characters, and I am very passionate about Miura. There's a reason half of my channel name is after him.
I don't blame you.
Don't we have a bunch of bad guys everywhere already? Should we really be deployed all the way out here?
Our Sentinels were designed chiefly for long-range attacks. I was taught that my primary tactic should be long-distance annihilation. Never give them a chance to close in.
And they're not fucking kidding about annihilation. Natsuno and Miura both pilot 3rd generation Sentinels. And for the few people who just watched the story but didn't play the game, 3rd gens, along with 1st gens, are definitely the two best ones. Because where 1st gens had high mobility and were melee boss killers, 3rd gens are the worst mobility, but they have ridiculously long range and can decimate entire arenas of enemies at once. They're not great at single target damage, but no one clears crowds like a 3rd generation.
It's good to have one is like in a group at all times. You never know when you're gonna get swarmed.
It's so fun. They have a lot of the most fun skills in the game, like Missile Rain. which just floods the entire screen in missiles. I
That was one
wish
of my
there was a
favorites.
way to get the missiles to individually do more damage so that they could be more useful in post-game, because unfortunately missile rain really does fall off in post-game, but god, it's so fun.
Isn't that what's most important?
And then, of course, the best skill in the game, super large missile, which is just a nuke. Like, it just nukes the enemies.
So if they do get too close, that's bad news.
Also,
Well,
simple.
we've got electromagnetic battering rams for both arms in case of close quarters combat. But we
Simple
can't
fi-
let them surround us. I don't know if we could fight our way out of that.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's a simple thing here, but notice how Natsuno is immediately taking the situation not only a little bit more seriously, it's just she's a lot more grounded in her deliveries here because she's been through a lot. She knows a lot more about what's going on here. It's not just her living in a movie anymore. This is reality to her now, and she's referring to it all as such. It's such a big contrast from what we just saw. A girl way in over her head that doesn't know what's coming, compared to her right now.
Yeah, she
who's a
does
lot more
take this
mature.
surprisingly seriously to a first person, like a first playthrough.
Okay, got it.
Warning. Dimal signatures approaching. Preparing to intercept.
I love how natural and casual she bounces off Miura. Like, I really love their battle conversations, especially.
They're coming. Miura-kun, they're coming. What do we do?
Also, I
Should we
love
shoot?
that the women in this game get to have sexy poses in their Sentinels a lot of the time. Like, you just see Tomi's ass, basically.
Yeah.
Megumi's got her tits out. But then, you don't get anything with the men, and it is very sad.
Some bias here. Yeah, as it tends to be with games like this.
Yeah, especially from Japan.
Yeah.
Like,
on that note, if you notice all their start poses, a lot of the guys have more kind of, I guess you could say, neutral poses, you know, like on their forearm, on their forehead, on their hand.
versus Tomi has to lift the back of her shirt, Iori lifts her skirt. Natsuno
Megumi
gets a
lifts
pretty
her-
tame one. Natsuno
Yeah,
gets a cheek.
This is really cool. Yeah, Megami lifts up her shirt. You can tell the difference in priorities between them.
Yeah. If anything, it should be the other guys that have sexualized ones. Like, imagine if one of the guys had to take down their pants for a bit and, like, swipe their hip bone. That would be so cool, and nobody gets to.
No,
Because none of them wear skirts, so they have to activate it down there somehow. That'd be fucking hilarious.
Yuki's again? I forgot.
Yuki, I think, is her arm? Like, I don't think Yuki's got a sexualized one.
Because I don't remember it being a sexualized one. But the problem is I don't remember it.
Yeah, I think it's her arm. Or like her elbow or something.
No, Hijiyama had one on his elbow.
I think there's a couple of repeats.
Yeah, there might. I mean, it makes sense.
Stay calm, Natsuno-san. Get a clear look at the opposing
But yeah, I'd say
forces.
Natsuno has one of the coolest one. I mean, she rips off the band-aid and then, you know, swipes her cheek. Like, that's so cool.
God, even more hilariously, imagine if Megami shot one of the guys in the dick.
Oh
And that was the activation switch.
A flash.
just
a literal flash.
Imagine the timeline where someone did that. Am I writing that? I think I'm writing that. Yeah, I'm
I
writing
mean,
that at some
how
point.
could you not?
The enemy
Anyway.
may have more numbers than us,
I'll give it to
but we can
Amiguchi.
hit them all in one fell swoop.
And then fucking probably Miura will get the hip bone. Now Miura will get an ass cheek and Sekigahara
go.
will get a hip bone.
There you go. Now we're thinking.
We've got the Holy Trinity all worked out.
Miura-kun, I'm kinda shook up here.
It's her
We'll
first
be
time in
okay.
combat.
We can use the electromagnetic rounds. Shake them up instead.
Also, Miura is so supportive in such a calm way. I love it.
And
Look, Miura.
Perfect.
it's not his first time in combat, and you know he's been preparing for this the whole game. So yeah, he is more level-headed, and he's trying his best to soothe Natsuno, who doesn't have
I'm in
any
the
combat
perfect position.
experience.
Not throwing away my shot.
Yeah, the Generation 1 and 3 Sentinels are easily the most powerful in this game. And it's kind of a problem.
Every time yours says that, I have to hold back singing that line.
Oh no, you too?
I can't. That's all I think of when he says that.
Yeah.
Like I can't. It's so hard for me to not sing that.
I'm the same.
Well, I'm glad to know I wasn't the only one that had that problem.
Yeah, so Gen 1 and 3 are by far the best units in the game. Generations 2 and 4 used to also have very, very good skills, or like singular. Generation 2's only used sentry guns, but they only needed to. And Generation 4's mostly only used stuff like interceptors. But now sentry guns and interceptors have been significantly nerfed, so not as good.
They don't stand a chance.
Also, just have a giant laser.
Enemy unit destroyed.
Love that
was
move.
awesome.
The railgun. That's one of my favorite moves.
That electromagnetic round has the power of a salvo from 46-centimeter battleship-mounted cannons. But a weapon that powerful comes with high energy costs and high risks to match. If you don't use it carefully, you might end up out of power at the worst possible moment.
Both communicating to the characters in the story and to the players, be careful about what you use because you don't want to run out of power at a bad time.
Roger that.
Well,
Sort of like how they basically screamed to the players, check the mystery files, check the
Pretty
event
much.
archives. It's a very similar thing here. They really communicate the gameplay concepts through the dialogue in these tutorial stages very well. Partially because this is a game to them, because it's fucking trapped them, and it's so good. And you don't notice that at first, because you don't expect that, but then it's revealed late in the game that, oh, meta chips are an actual thing that the actual characters are trying to get to upgrade their Sentinels, and the ability to just go full video game is what's unique about this current route and how they're managing to escape, which is just maybe the coolest plot twist of anything ever.
That is a pretty good twist.
The only plot twist I can think of that was even more satisfying. It'd be very spoilery to explain, but it's in Umineko episode 6. I'm not gonna say what it is. You should find out in like, oh god, 4 months when I get up to that point in Umineko. Because I'm running an Umineko playthrough at the moment, and I'm publishing new chapters almost every day. So you should check that out. It's really good. Except when it's not, but it's usually really good. I'll probably hit episode 6 in like 4 months or something. It's a very, very, very long visual novel, and I'm in episode 3. So, yeah.
We take.
Sorry, what was that? I think Discord ate that a bit.
Oh, I was gonna say, and 4K takes a while.
Yeah.
Wow, Discord does not like me today. I was going to say a little bit of characterization in there is the way Miura talks about their Sentinels and weapons. He almost kind of sounds like a bit of a, you know, a weapon buff. Like, yeah, this stuff is very interesting to him. He can say like how much power each attack has and compare it to, you know, like cannon. It's like cannon and tanks.
So how
And,
completely unusable are these? I think these were like completely horrible from memory. Yeah, he
They're
is
not
very much a
great.
weapon buff, and I think that is a nice aspect to show off, considering that he's another military boy like Hijiyama. Go for the EMP stunner. I'm like never gonna use it again, so fuck it, let's do it.
Hold up! Get it!
Use
Oh
the-
wow, that is like no damage.
I mean,
It
it's
stops
not-
them from moving.
Yeah,
Enemy
it's
on
not
the
really
move.
much of a damage move, it's just to, stop them from surrounding you if you're in a pinch.
Because some of the EMP skills do a decent amount of damage. Specifically, I think EMP Surrounding does good damage, because it's the one that's
Right.
around you. Yeah, EMP skills, for the people who didn't play the game and just watched it, EMP skills completely ground enemies, so it'll send flying enemies straight to the ground.
That's what I
stops-
used it for. That's what I
And
remember
it stops
using
them
for.
from moving as well, which is represented by these sparks. So not only are they grounded, they're also frozen. Which is very, very, very useful, because Generation 1 units have a lot of difficulty hitting shit that's in the ground. Sorry, that's in the air. So you need to use EMP skills on a lot of stuff to get them able to start hitting shit.
Yeah, especially if, you didn't properly space your Sentinels correctly earlier in the round. You might be stuck in a situation where the generations with aerial combat aren't in the right range to get the foes in the air, and you need to ground them. So that's where the EMP stunners can come in. At least that's what I mostly use them for.
Also, the reason I'm specifically targeting these big enemies is whenever you use skills that target multiple enemies at once, it does the most damage or focuses first on the character that you target. So because I'm targeting that G-Molar right on the edge of the range, that's where the majority of the damage is going to go.
Okay,
In
I
some
see.
cases, like Leg Spikes or Demolisher Blade, where it attacks one person at a time, it'll focus all of that damage on your first target until that target is dead. So that's sometimes useful to manipulate as well.
Leave it to
Let's-
me. Did I get it? Enemy down.
You'll notice that skill, Long Range Missiles, is much more
Gotta do something.
further in range than the Generation 2 units Iori and Jiro had, where they had like a maximum range to deal with. Meanwhile, Miura was only barely hitting those two because he couldn't attack them fast enough.
Curve and cannon. Oh, actually, no. If you can get the railgun to hit it, that's better.
Go away! Hit!
There you go.
Barely managed to get both in range.
We got through it.
For a first-time pilot, those were some impressive moves out there.
And I love how he's making sure to compliment
Keep
her to boost her self-esteem so she does better in battle.
Spirits up. It's very
Couldn't have done it
sweet.
without you, Miura-kun.
Warning. Daimyo signatures identified. Enemy in range.
I know they are romantic by endgame, but I do love the idea of them just being best friends by the end. And if anything, Natsuno could be like a cheerleader trying to get him some boys. But that's just the shit I'd write.
There's more?
I mean, hey,
How many
you can
of these
technically
guys
be
are
both.
there?
Natsuno would be like pushing him into conversations with Shuamiguchi while Miura's a blushing mess. Like, you can do it, I believe in you. It would be adorable. I have a lot of ideas to write for them. And I'm looking forward to finally doing it when I finish this game.
This isn't good. Looks like they're deploying wide-range attackers of their own.
If only we
Let
had
me
a
check the
sentry
Sentinels'
gun.
data. Maybe we have a dossier in here somewhere. There we go. A surface wrecker. Colloquially called a twin tail. Is that all we have?
It's coming, Miura-kun. Do we attack?
Wait, I think we have new enemies inbound. Actually, isn't that...
Sentinels number 13 and 15. Are they friendly?
That Juro and Iori, if I
We're
recall.
activating
Yep.
Aegis. This terminal will close soon.
What? Juro-kun? You're in a Sentinel too?
So this is the first time we get more than like 2 units to use at once.
It is Yuna-chan. We're here to help.
And this is the first time I think it started to hit me that, oh, these characters were very much on their own journeys, and a lot of them are only just now really crossing each other and meeting up.
Or at least for the first time in a long while.
Yeah.
No way. You too, Iori? What's going on?
Or rather, just first realizing that, oh, you're all in
I
on
couldn't have asked
this.
for better
You're not
support.
just, a friend from school I know. You're in on this.
Thank you, Jiro-kun. I couldn't have asked for better support.
God, he's perfect. I love him.
Sweet.
We have to defend the terminal until the systems activate.
Not-chan, let's do this together.
Yeah, okay, they want us to use support units.
Where are
Shame they
they
suck now.
What can I do?
Let's deploy a sentry gun.
Lend us a hand.
It'll do something. Even if
gotta
it's
think.
basically nothing now.
It won't do much, but it could be worse.
Can't
And
mess
I'm
this
just
up.
gonna move you up. Annoyingly, Generation 2 units also have very poor mobility, which is kind of annoying considering that they're not supposed to be anywhere near as bad as Gen 3s, but they kind of
Not
are.
throwing away my shot.
So Gen 2s move a bit too slowly in my opinion. If I could adjust the balance of this game, I would speed up Gen 2's movement. Not
Yeah,
to the
they-
level of Gen 1's, but more in between. I think the only ones that should have really terrible movement are Generation 3, because that's the point of them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Let's do that. Managing to squeeze as many enemies in there as possible.
Enemy signal. Am I in enemy range?
Taking fire.
Certain enemies like Twin Tails attack with missiles. Evaded or intercepted with attacks? Yeah.
What now? 13 within enemy threat range.
Oh yeah, this is a part of the combat where you have to start deflecting missiles from the air. It's a time like this where we could really use a model like Hijama's where you can just rush through that whole line. Just tear them all up. We aren't there yet though.
Okay, let's use an EMP stunner
Hold up!
to stop them moving.
Get it!
I need to get
You're
out
attached
fast.
here?
Enemy on the
Enemy
move.
threat range.
Stay calm.
We could use
Remember
phase
your
plasma.
training. What's our plan?
Too much damage.
You know, the thing I like never use. I technically can, it's not like I have anything better to spend it on. Not yet. So what do I want using?
Where are they?
Can't I like check the details? Oh fuck, no.
Details.
There we go, A, cool. Yeah, you can check these, and I like never did in my playthrough, and I want to start doing that. Kaiju that specializes in long-range attacks. Attacks from a certain distance with missiles and Gatling guns. Can be taken down at a close range with melee attacks or from a distance with long-range weapons. Skills, missiles, and Gatling gun. And it tells you how much HP it has at the moment. That's really useful information that I wish I like looked at more often. Because some of the models look a bit similar.
What's our plan?
So what am I going to use?
Especially
That
as you go
probably?
on. I'd get the whole line that's in front of you before they start closing in more.
Well, they're EMP'd at the moment. I want to stop the missiles.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Here we go. A hit! Threat suppressed.
Oh, and the EMP pulse hadn't finished sending them away yet. Lol.
And the sentry gun actually did something.
I mean, something is relative. Let's place another one, because there's not going to be enough battle left to justify doing anything else with her.
And like, she's too slow to get to the battlefield anyway.
Yeah. I'm not going to be able to get to do anything else with her in time, so let's just do more of that. But as you can see, Jiro's multi-rocket launchers are a lot shorter in range than Miura's, which, like, that's the minimum distance Miura can do. Can't quite move fast enough.
Okay.
Feel like when we get off the prologue at the end of battles to see how much
Number
city
13,
destruction
moving
you caused.
Unfortunately, they don't show that yet. Not in the prologue.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that actually affects the score you get.
It does, but like it's so hard to destroy enough of the city for that to be a problem. If you're trying even slightly, this is not a difficult game. You will probably S-rank most levels on your first attempt, not having any knowledge of them. Like, this is not a difficult game, in the most part.
But
I don't think that's a bad thing, by the way. I think it's quite fun, but yeah, it's worth noting. She's gonna send hers there. How about... Oh, but I can probably get a better angle there. Yeah, I can get two of them at once.
Did I get it?
And I might be able to get Natsuno to do the same on her end.
Yeah, and then you can get the missile.
Just getting a missile, but it could be worse.
You can get the missile and the,
How's that?
There you go.
I did it!
Still got a missile coming, though.
What can I do?
I think the sentry gun might take it out. Or you can, you know, kill this thing before it hits you. There you go. Now you don't have to worry about it. The only thing left to kill was the missile.
Aegis has been activated. Terminal's been closed.
I can't see any more kaiju around. Is that it? Did we beat them? Looks like it.
No. This is still just the beginning. If they can't use this terminal, they'll just move on to the next one.
If that's true, the more targets they lose, the more desperate our enemies will get, and the harder they'll fight.
Or they'll multiply.
Yeah. These battles are only going to get tougher.
Seriously? No more enemies, right?
And that's arguably the closest thing we have to a real fight so far.
Yeah, the closest so far. Oh, fuck.
Megami! Again, despite how her arc ends, I actually really like Megami.
Yeah, up to before her arc ends, she's well written. I don't find her particularly entertaining, basically ever, but she is at least competently written until the end of her arc. But anyway, that's for me of the next video to suffer through, because we're going to call it here. Thank you all for watching. Do we have any last thoughts on that battle?
Not particularly. I'm just curious to jump into Megami.
I'm a big fan of finally giving us a battle where we can control more than 2 people. We actually get a decent amount of freedom in how to tackle that one, which I'm a huge fan of.
First real battle so far.
Not real, but we're not completely hand-holded. It's not a cutscene for the entire duration, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
But anyway, let's call it there. We'll see you in the next video. This is Hamburger Chariot and Mirth Mouser signing out. See you, everybody.